Hello, you beautiful people. My name's Casey Sports. Welcome back to the West Ham save. Have a quick goosey gander, but don't look for too long. We are back with the final season of the West Ham save. No matter, well, let's not say no matter what, but 99% chance this will be the last year we get to appreciate this amazing West Ham squad. And our opening game is against Arsenal with Unai Emery back in the helm. They offered us a job. We said no, and they would go on to win the Premier League last year. So, in terms of expectations for the league, we are still down here in 7th. It has been that way for quite a while. They just don't think we can compete at the top. So the transfers are made. I'm not going to lie to you. You could argue they're not the most realistic. And quite a few people rejected us, not seeing us as big enough. And of course, more than anything, we have to mention, fucking Messi. So, what happened was, I went, hola, Messi, ¿cómo está? And he said, no. Adios. Buenas noches. Fucked off. I just went, how are you? And he went, no, good night. It's not nice, that. It's not nice. Not a very nice man, Messi. But he's got a bit of a stick up of, his where. It's my opinion. Because he was an integral part to our season last year. And we were a couple points off of the Premier League. We were so close to the Champions League. Unbelievably close to the FA Cup. And he had the chance to unquestionably cement himself as the greatest player of all time. And instead he said goodbye. So what did we have to do to fix that? Because the point was, no matter what, we have to find a way to win. That is the main thing. No matter what, this team is built for one way, and I want to change it, and I want to make it a team where you can't say anything about us. We are unquestionably going to win the league. And I feel like we've built that team towards it. Now, we do have a couple sales still going on. Brighton are interested in Hayden Hackney for $23.5 million. I've accepted that offer. Hopefully he accepts the contract. And Brahim Diaz, hoping to make a little bit of man history, to be alongside the likes of Marcos Alonso, Luis Figo, Ronaldo Nazario, in terms of players who have played for both Real Madrid and Barcelona. And there's a 25.5 rising to £47.5 million offer in for him, which completely makes sense. He had a great year last year, has definitely started to revitalise his career. And I'd love to bring, if we could get that in, add on the 15 million we've got, we're talking, upwards of £60 million we'd have to spend. But let's talk about what's happened. So in terms of sales, couple of this doesn't really matter, but Emerson went to Al-Shabaab for £6 million. Saudi Arabia no longer bailing us out as much as they used to. Pretty happy with that. He was on loan at Getafe last season, made 0 starts, 2 substitution appearances. And in the end, Saudi Arabia went, you know what, we'll take him because he has been a very good debutant for us, and I think that makes sense. Pierluigi Gallini has gone on loan to Real Madrid, was a decent, if uneventful, player for us. Last year, obviously, had to cover after Anatoly Trubin got injured. And again, I think that makes sense. A loan deal, clearly Real Madrid, similar to us, just needed a backup goalkeeper, and I feel like we've replaced him pretty well. The first big sale, though, Umar Saleh has gone to Al Hilal for £41.5 million. Was signed for $12 million last season from Juventus. Had a very solid season without really breaking into the starting 11. So 40 odd million for him. I'm very happy with that. Could rise to 50. Rodrigo De Paul has gone to Villarreal for $23.5 million. A very minor increase for us. A very small profit. Makes sense again. He didn't have the greatest of times with us last year. Struggled to really break into the starting 11. So he's gone back to Spain where he's at his best. and I don't like his haircut. So bye-bye. And lastly, Daniel Iverson was really angry at us because we didn't play him in the cup game, so he's gone on loan to Brest, meaning we needed to sign a brand new goalkeeper. And that came in the form of Stefan Ortega, now 33 years old. But the exact type of goalkeeper I want, someone who is solid, has learned the tendencies of like the passing style that we're trying to implement into West Ham. I'm pretty happy with that option. Now we needed to replace Umar Saleh, and I decided to go in for Aston Villa's Pau Torres. £70 million he has cost us. A pretty huge deal, but I am a massive fan, and I was looking at a couple of key things for centre-backs, and a big part of it was aerial ability. 16 heading, 17 jump and reach. In the prime of his career, I don't think you can ask for a better option here. I feel like he may well end up scoring quite a few goals for us, alongside just being a very good defender. But I'd rather him offer goals. You know, defenders can be great defensively, but if they can get, 5-6 goals a season, that can really change your squad. Now, we did sign a couple of players on a free transfer as their deals over in Saudi Arabia started to break down. And the first one was Ruben Neves, or Neves, something like that. I wanted a player who could be a very good playmaker in the realm of kind of the Brahim Diaz style, but who was maybe a little bit more oriented towards it, like player traits, etc., made more sense. And I think Ruben Neves is a great option for this squad. I had a great time over in Saudi Arabia. To bring him in on a free, where he is, again, he's not going to be too desperate to start either. He's happy towards being a bench player. He is important, but I feel like he's going to be pretty happy if he's playing, maybe 20, 30 games a season, and not all of them being starts, of course. But yeah, I'm really happy with bringing him in. Only 29 years old. Again, another player towards the peak of his powers, which is what we're looking at. Players at the top of their ability, who have the most experience, most quality, technically, physically, everything sort of at their best. I think he's a great option. A little bit older than that, we brought Fabinho back to the Premier League after another 3 years at Saudi Arabia with Al Ittihad. And yeah, I needed a very dependable defensive midfielder. I wasn't too worried about age for this position, and you don't get much better than Fabinho. Yeah, he struggled towards the end of his time at Liverpool, but I think that's a mix of burnout as well as injuries. I'm hoping now he's had a couple of years to kind of regain his fitness, etc. I feel like he could be a really key player for us if he plays to the best of his abilities and could really strengthen that midfield, as that was my main goal. So the last transfer we made was very much in that idea of improving the midfield, and it is Florian Wirtz for £85 million. One of the highest rated prospects in the world in current day, and still only 23 years old now. And I feel like this made sense. He has struggled at Bayer Leverkusen. He has not really grown into the player he thought he would, and he has certainly not gotten the success he thought he would. Their highest finish being third in 2021 and 2025. So, besides that, they've been kind of pushing and hoping they can get Champions League football. Clearly, Wirtz wanted Champions League football, and more than that, wanted to be a key player in a big squad. So in comes Florian Wirtz for £85 million. However, you will not be seeing him today, as he has picked up an injury with a calf strain, which gave him out for this week and next. So the squad looks something like this: Anatoly Trubin in goal, Victor Christensen at left back, Pau Torres at left centre back, Jean-Claire Todibo at right centre back, and Ousmane Diomande will be playing as an inverted fullback. Slightly different to what I'd perhaps usually do, but I have ideas. Little plans here and there. Fabinho will be in that defensive midfield spot with James Ward-Prowse and, for now, Ruben Neves. Mohamed Kudus is starting on the left wing, Jared Bowen on the right, and Petr Rakov continues up front. Of course, it must be said, George Kenya has came back from his loan deal. We also have David Otso, Hayden Hackney came back, and lastly, Anel Ahmedozic has came back from his loan deal at Bournemouth, where he had a decent season. Not bad at all for a very poor Bournemouth side, and I'm a big fan. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Anel, and I feel like he could have a pretty good season this year in that right back role. But that is the squad for now. On the bench, it's pretty familiar. Stefan Ortega, Naya Fagerd, Ryan Aitnori, Ben Johnson, Souček, Scott McSauce also back from loan. That was a big thing. He rejected multiple huge offers of around £60 million. We won't be able to see it here, but yeah, about £6 million twice. We had offers for that. Neither time did he accept it. We've also had offers in for Trubin and Ward-Prowse. Pretty big deals. And a couple of the failed signings I should speak about very quickly. Estanis Pedrola, someone who, as you know, I have been scouting since his first year at Sampdoria. When he joined permanently, I was desperate to sign him even back in Serie B. We waited, and last season he had another great year in Serie A, and we offered nearly £50 million, but in the end he settled for Newcastle, who offered him a ton of money, 155 grand. Another player who we looked at signing plays for Manchester City, and it isn't any of the big names. It's someone though we have watched, is Jack Grealish. He wants to leave, 30 years old. We do need a new left winger. If things work out, I think he might be the option. I know you all see it. We will talk about it. So the player I wanted to sign is not here. Oh, I'm a huge fan of Jan Couto. Maybe I should have signed him. No, I'm just a fan of him in real life. Joao Cancelo went to Barca. De Bruyne now is here. Where is he? Where is he? I can't find him, and I don't remember his name. He's a winger, and he's got a very recognisable name. Here he is, Claudio Echeverri. What a player! Can you? Oh yes. Well, he won't be in for today, but Claudio Echeverri, what a player! So hopefully he'll join us. By the way, we never looked at my ADC's way kicking off here. We never looked at the work of Yeremy Doku. I can't find Doku either. Can you see Yeremy Doku? Aha, found her. His season last year, very good. Not many starts. Very good when he did play. Some other little things. We were torn. I'd like to know your opinion on if I made the right choice. I was completely torn on whether to sign this guy or Ruben Neves. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, huge player, incredible player, a little bit of an FM legend. And yeah, it was between him, and I think his work permit didn't quite go through, and I preferred Ruben. But what are your thoughts? Manchester United also got took over by Chinese investors. Did anything of like big notes happen in the transfers? They put Weston McKennie, Fabian, and this young man Tristan Osmani, who doesn't look very good. That's a very Manchester United transfer window. They signed 3 players, sold a couple of decent youngsters: Hannibal, Ethan Williams, Palestri, Garnacho, and Samuel Ricci, all leaving the squad. All very good youngsters. Hannibal, by the way, very, very good last season during the games he had. May not see on the average rating. Look at someone like the pass completions, the dribbles. Very good player. So yeah, instead he's had 2 players who were good about 5 years ago, and just someone who's not very good but young. But the last thing we do need to talk about before we get into the actual game against Arsenal, the World Cup happened, and Brazil were victorious, beating France 2-1. In the third place playoffs, USA beat Portugal 4-3. In the semi-finals, as you know, the quarter-finals, Brazil beat Mexico. USA beat Norway, France beat the Ivory Coast, and Portugal won on penalties against Croatia. And lastly, in the round of 16, the Ivory Coast beat Italy, Portugal beat Cape Verde, Croatia beat Austria, France beat Germany, Mexico beat Scotland, USA beat Australia, Norway beat South Korea, and Netherlands lost to Brazil. But it was this moment here that matters most. England losing on penalties to an Australian side who are not good enough. Like, good player, Gran Qual, plays for Newcastle right now. Had a bit of time at Red Bull. No. Decent little player. Some of the other ones like Cameron Devlin. I quite like Cameron Devlin. He's over at Hearts. Harry Souttar, we all know how good he can be. Matthew Ryan was very solid a few years ago. His time at Sociedad was pretty fun. Couple other like solid little players, if nothing like incredible. But definitely should not be losing to England. Sorry, should not be beating England with their world ranking of 23rd. That's very good. And so England came calling to us. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this squad, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the save. But let's keep an eye out. Maybe I'll do something special. By the way, Shaquille Van Persie is an amazing name. Lee Carsley and Graham Potter. So he's not related to... he's not at all related to Robin. He was born... Wait, what on earth? So, where was he born? London, England. He was born in London. So, I'm going to say this is Robin Van Persie's child. He is a real-life player who was born in London, has nationalities in Morocco and Holland, or Netherlands, as well as England, has played one game, scored one goal, is a wonder kid at 19. I definitely want to find out more about Shaquille Van Persie, because that's an amazing name. And I cannot believe that is a real person. One sec, here he is. He's at Feyenoord, 17. Yes, he is the son of Robin Van Persie whilst he was at Arsenal. Why would Robin call his kid Shaquille? Okay, anyway, let's get into the game. I can't believe that's the first time I've ever heard about that. So the squad, you've already seen it. Arsenal won the Premier League last year. If we can beat them in our new little tactical changes, whatever, then we can beat Arsenal. Gotta say, we're title contenders. If we lose, I think it's going to be another season of me getting very angry at dots on a screen and probably shouting quite loud. So, if you like me shouting, pray for Arsenal. If you prefer me to have a nice life and live till I'm 30, then that's as far as we're getting. 30. Fuck no. Any longer than that, it's a bit too long. Any longer than that, yeah. Yeah, please pray for West Ham to win. I'd really appreciate if we were good at football. And the first highlight comes for us. It's Jared Bowen taking a corner, 4.5 minutes in, headed away by William Saliba, back to Bowen, Ward-Prowse, Ruben Neves, lays off to Kudus. Oh, Mohamed Kudus, the first goal scorer of our 4th season. He has spent all 4 years here. He's never had an entire season where he was number 1. Scott McSauce in the first season, we had no space for him at all in the second. That was probably his best year. And then last season, he barely played for us, but now this could be his chance to finally break into the starting lineup. Bowen, oh, that's not good. Zinchenko, great tackle. Martinelli finds Declan Rice, goes for goal, just wide. This is a very good start. I have to say that. Ruben Neves with an assist already. As we play, and by the way, I'm still trying to sell Marcus Edwards. He refuses to leave, which is weird because he is too good of a player to not be playing, but no one wants to sign him to play him. I don't know. It's because the reason why I want to sell him is his training. He's really bad. He's not very committed to the squad. So like, I never feel like he deserves to start, if that makes sense. Yeah, he's been in the very, like, Xherdan Shaqiri style role of this team. And the first half's going to end. We are 1-0 up against Arsenal. Premier League winning Arsenal, looking to defend that title and retain it. And this new tactic is working decently well. We are not dominating possession the way I thought we would, but for right now things are working well. And Liverpool, the only team winning by 2 goals, they move to the top spot. Here is a second highlight. We've not really seen much of the football today. Wood post, dancing on Rice, and it falls to Bowen. Oh, it's off the post. That was a huge chance. My estimation or my prediction for this season, by the way, is it's going to be George Kenya's breakout year. So keep an eye out on that. But I'm going to make my first 2 changes here, 70 minutes in. It will be Petr Rakov off for Evan Ferguson. And we're going to bring Brahim Diaz in for Jarrod Bowen. Of course, Diaz, scouted by Barcelona, maybe will want to have like a great game to really cement his spot. So Vitor Roque has come on for Kai Havertz. We need to keep an eye out on that. There was another change I didn't quite see, but it's Bukayo Saka on the edge of the box, drives forward, really nice football, and he scores past Truban. Oh yeah, they won the Community Shield. You've got no idea how confused I was then. Diamande not having a great game, more so about fitness. Benny Boy. Benny Johnson is on. We love Benny Boy here. We're dominating possession. A 1-0 draw is not bad. I feel like we can do a little bit better. And let's make the last few changes. Gonçalo Borges on. And Thomas Souček on for Fabinho. I'm going to stick with Prowse and Neves. And maybe the last highlight of the game's coming here. 86 minutes in. It's Martinelli on this left wing. Pulls it to Vitor Roque. Christensen heads away. And he's for Saka. Back in. Great clearance there by Victor Christensen again. It's Ben White. Saka. Oh, Pau Torres gets there. Jurgen Timber. Great little clearance there by Truban. And we play the ball a bit weird, but it's okay. 7 minutes of added time. We're going to go a bit more cautious and just a little bit more counter-attacking. A 1-0 draw I'm happy with, but in the 94th minute there's a highlight. And it's starting with Arsenal, and they have definitely looked a better team here in the second half. They have been the only ones truly attacking. Tomiyasu to Ramsdale. Inside to Jurgen Timber. Very nice football. Antonio Silva now is the next man on the ball. Ben White. Oh, that's a beautiful pass over to Vitor Roque. And Roque driving in from this right hand side to the back post. Santiago Jimenez scores. Is he the player I went to sign from Atleti? Why does that name sound so familiar? He has just made it 2-1. It looks set that yet again it's going to be a late goal. That's a difference. But before I even have time to feel upset, if I see Atletico Madrid, oh, that's why I know him. Feyenoord. He was a player I scouted as well. Yeah, he's very good. My God. He's been at Arsenal for a few years. I think I might have seen him. Jesus, that guy is really good. Well, yeah, we lose 2-1 at Arsenal. A very disappointing result. But there's still a long way to go in this season. And losing by 1 goal at the Emirates could be a lot worse. I'm going to have faith in our squad here. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can. And if you enjoyed the episode, leave a comment about where you think we are going to finish this season. And tell me, what's the most expensive transfer you've ever done in a transfer window? Because I do think that the 85 million for Florian Wirtz is the most expensive I've ever done. I'm going to try and find that out, though, very quickly. At least in this. Like, I can definitely have a look if it's my most expensive signing here. No, £91 million for Ferguson. That's by far and away our most expensive transfer. And I definitely need to look into giving Evan Ferguson some more game time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.